Sydney, you just were in Puerto Rico modeling for the bikini. It's Teasum bikinis, right?
I did some modeling of that bikini. Yes, I did.
Uh-huh. So, and before that, you were in the recording studio, I believe.
Hmm.
So you've been very busy.
I do keep busy.
I was looking at your website and seeing all the different things that you do, everything from, singing and dancing to acting to comedy to whatever. There's probably nothing you can't do. Do you play instruments?
Say there's a lot of things I can do, like talk in a straight face. And no, I'm just kidding. I played half a guitar, and my parents paid for me to have guitar lessons back in the day, but I was just not feeling it. I like it a little bit now, and I'm getting somebody to teach me now, but
Uh,
I don't know how to play it really well. So
uh,
that I can't do. Yay!
you're going to get some more fans today just being on here. There'll be some people that will fan you up. And I'm telling them right now, fan up Sydney Celeste Rose now.
Yes,
Okay.
please. I'm cool a little bit.
Okay. Um, so how was Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico was very, very interesting. Very, very. I like to be able to print situations and see how I can handle it and see how the modeling. I mean, the whole thing was different. Like you go from being on a beach or being on in an abandoned building. It's like your mind has to completely grasp a whole different concept. So I like the fact that it reminded me that I still have to practice more because I've been so busy with my music and other things. I have not been as tentative to modeling. So now I'm okay, Sydney, wake up, you got to practice more. So it taught me a lot, reminded me to keep on my A game. I never rest on my laurels. So I think everybody's their biggest critic. They always find something wrong with something.
Uh,
um so yeah, I just strive to do personal best. I don't compete, I just do my personal best.
well, it's also fun. I do photography because I enjoy it, and I can always do better. I always think about what I could have done better after a shoot, and
Yes.
that's what we have to do. We want to try to improve where we were the last time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but oh, tell me about. Let's see. Tell me about your latest musical work. You're going to be broadcasting. You're going to be releasing a song in about a week. So
Well,
tell
I
me a
mean,
little bit about.
not the whole song, just a sneak peek on that radio show. The whole song will be in June.
What's that? Your
The sneak peek of the song will be released on May 17th on 93.9 in New Jersey, but the whole song will be released in June 2017.
oh, I got you. You're going to release a snippet of the song next
Correct.
week on the
Yes,
17th, and then in June you have a full release.
correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, Tell me a little bit about your education. I know that you've had, I believe, dance lessons,
Yes.
right? And
Dance,
singing.
singing. I've taken some acting. You're talking about like what, recent or all together?
Well, just you can tell me anything altogether. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken lessons for a long time since I was small. Now I usually take lessons with a vocal coach back home where I'm from in South Carolina. And well, that's not really where I'm from, but that's where I grew up. That's a whole nother
Where
story.
did you grow up?
And huh?
Where did you grow up?
In Florence and Charleston, South Carolina,
Ah,
Myrtle Beach too.
okay.
Um, but okay, how when have I taken lessons? Okay, I'm taking lessons again with my old vocal coach that I used to have in school. Acting, I'm my friend Kelly and I do our own web series, and we're working with a new director, meeting them in the next like few weeks to talk about um, getting that to the next level. So Kelly, my friend Kelly, is a really good actress, and she helps me quite a bit learn how to tape auditions and stuff like that. She's better at that than me, so I learn a lot on that. Dance, since I'm doing music, my own music now. I work with my own choreography, and then I'm looking for choreographer so I can take it to another level.
Mm.
Basically, just like I said before, I'm very independent, but I do like to challenge myself and learn new things. So I always look for other people that are very skilled to work with. So I'm always on the lookout, man.
Uh,
Ooh, I'm running out of words. That's unusual for me.
okay. Well, this is the first time you broadcast on here, and I know you were in California,
Mhm.
and you did some modeling in California too. Is that right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then,
And I did some modeling in California. I did a radio interview with I work with a legion of DJs called and I premiered one of my other song on their radio show, Unseen Radio in California. And uh, things that I was supposed to do till my car got towed, but we won't tell that story on you now.
that might be a funny story. Oh no,
Yeah,
it
you
wasn't.
knew how irate I get when I tell the story. I don't think it'll be fun when you see how angry I get.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't not funny at the time. That
Oh,
was
it was
very
not
stressful. No, things like that happen here in California, though. Cars getting towed,
yes.
But what are some of the good things that happened to you while you were in California?
There's a record company that I've been talking to about records, and they were not able to meet with me while I was there because they had some another convention or something to do. But I've been talking about meeting with them, so I'm going back to meet with them. The modeling stuff that came along with that, some other like promotional modeling stuff. I didn't realize the photographer that I was working with knew all those type of people. So I've got another person with a song I wrote, and I've got some promotional stuff back in California. And what else did I say? The radio interview. Some of those DJs that were at that radio interview, the Fleet DJs are doing a conference here in Raleigh, where I'm based,
Mm.
and a lot of DJs from all over the world are coming to Raleigh in July to do a conference. So I'm going to be at that conference with all those DJs, hopefully, and get to
Wow.
perform and all kind of stuff. So a lot of good things happen. Forget
Yeah.
the car getting towed because it all got balanced out by a lot of other good things.
Ah, I know. I was telling you that I could hear a difference from one part of the country to the next, and I just wondered, what do you think of the California scene? I'm sure it's a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, I was in California when I was younger, when I worked for Pennies and Belt when I was a child model. So I've been to California, and my family was thinking there, but the situation happened with my mom and such like that, so it didn't work out. But I think about it now. Well, I probably would have liked to see. I had an interview in Hollywood actually, but that was the day my car got towed. So I really can't tell you what I think about Hollywood because I didn't get there. But from what I
Oh,
saw, it was nice. I mean, the lady I stayed with was very nice. The Airbnb, um, the opportunities I got, the people I met, I didn't have a bad experience at all. I like the whole thing. I
ah,
love the trees. I mean, the whole scenery is totally different. I like, yeah,
you love to travel.
yes, definitely.
Have you
Traveling.
been to the Bay Area? Have you been to the Bay Area, San Francisco area?
I didn't go there. The only other place I went to California other than Los Angeles was San Diego. My sister lives in San Diego, and some of my shoots I did were in San Diego.
Uh, yeah, I live up in the Bay Area, and it's a different vibe up here too. Even just from Southern California to Northern California, it's
Hmm.
there's differences, you know. I like it up here. I think Northern California, you can go from one place to the next, and the climate will be different, and everything is different. Like you have country, you've got mountains, you've got a lot of people that are into horses, and
Mm-hmm.
then you go to the next, like the next few miles over, and you're in like Silicon Valley where everybody's into computers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like it's pretty fun. You can find anything and everything here, I think. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I like the beaches in Northern California better because Southern California beaches are very crowded and it's hard to be able to find. I mean, we've got a nude beach up here in the Bay Area near San Francisco, but
Right.
the parks and recreation rangers and stuff like that, they charge you money. If you're in Hollywood and you pull out a professional camera and you look like you're doing a commercial shoot, they're going to come after you and want to know if you got a permit to be able to shoot.
Oh, right. Yes.
So I'm making the property I live on, it's a 60-acre ranch, making it a destination for photographers and models and musicians because I'm building a little studio here too. So it's going to be really cool when, you know, if you come out here like in the summertime,
Uh-huh.
that'd be a really good time to come out here. You can camp out, bring an
Yeah.
RV.
The date is when I'm coming back. When I get in touch with the Ironheart people and the other promotional stuff, when we see those dates, then I'll let you know.
Oh, and there's a lot of venues to perform up in San Francisco, especially for your music. There's all kinds of venues that are, you know, where you can perform.
Oh,
Um,
I
have you done?
definitely think about a the coast to coast tour, but that's a whole nother game. That's not just in LA. That's all over the place. But that's a whole nother thing. First, I gotta finish my songs. Gosh darn it! And that's what I'm working on. Oh, now I can't hear you. No, your microphone is completely.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, now you're too loud. Yes.
Oh. You did a live performance not very long ago. I think I saw on Instagram. Um, do you do you enjoy doing live performances?
Yes, I like live better than anything else because I mean, to me, I feel like well, at least for me, I mean, some artists maybe not, but me, I feel like since I write my own music and I'm not just sitting here talking about whatever, like I'm talking about stuff that really means something to me. When I perform it, that's when you get, you know, you really get to, for me, best I can with what I'm singing, convey what I went through and why I wrote that damn song in the first place. So yeah, I don't like the whole standing behind them, just standing there still like this. Some songs, if it's maybe like a ballad, maybe, but for what I like to move around and express myself, and really, I don't hold back. Like I said, no filter, man. I can't help it.
Yeah. Um, let's talk about your website. Can you post? Let me see. I was going to try before we start broadcasting. I was looking to post your website link in the comment section so that people can.
You want me
Um,
to post it? I can do that.
you can do that if you got it handy.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm grabbing it right now. Let's see who can do it first.
Probably you doing it.
I got it. Okay, there's your website.
Yeah, there you go. You did it.
And where I found out a lot was going to your blog,
Yes.
and there's the ad for your show or your interview. I guess it's going to be an interview. Are you gonna do anything live, or are you just gonna play the snippet on the radio show?
I'll be live to the girl as well who runs the show, as well
Uh,
as the.
okay. And I see there's it's Stilo magazine in California where you were
That's one of the
doing
shoots
some,
I did in California. Yep, yep, yep.
yeah, athlete of the mic. That cracks
That's
me up. Tell me a little
that's
bit
the
about that.
event I did here. There was a big event for a big birthday bash thing in Atlanta from K97.5 here in Raleigh to perform in front of Gucci Mane and Fat Joe, Remy Ma, some of the biggest names in hip hop. Now, granted, none of the singers even played, or the rappers that got it. But what I'm saying is, basically, I had a great time auditioning. I was even lucky enough to even get a shot. People didn't even get a shot, and to get on a platform like that, to even be considered, to me, is already a victory in itself because not everybody gets that chance. So
Yeah.
I would say to the girl who organizes these things, Mirai M from K97.5, she is, I have to shout her out on here because she is a wonderful person, a brilliant person, and she does a lot for other people. She deserves credit. So to Mirai M, I thank you, my dear.
Uh, Let me take a look here. What else is going on? Well, you're a fabulous model. I see tons of pictures of you everywhere, and you wear anything from like leather. I love that black leather skirt and the
Uh-huh.
top. Um, that's kind of like 80s, isn't it? Would you say that's kind of like an
Yes,
80s vintage?
I love the 80s. Forget what year I was born. I was born in the wrong time, man. I don't like the new age. I like the old stuff. Only to, but that's how I do, man.
Uh, so you got a bit of the 80s flavor to you.
Definitely, definitely. I love the 70s too. Hmm.
Ah, so what are some of the artists that influenced you?
Oh my gosh.
A lot of them. It's
Madonna,
okay.
Michael Jackson, Cher, mm, Pat Benatar, Stevie Nicks, Queen, Adam Lambert, mm, Christina
Yeah.
Aguilera,
Oh, I love
Stevie,
Christina. She's
Stevie
awesome.
Ray Vaughan, uh, Loretta Lynn. I mean, I like everything from country to Roses to John. I mean, John. What am I saying? Tom Petty. And I don't put myself in a box by any means.
Ah, there's probably not very many people that you don't listen to at least.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. That's a lot like me. We were talking about that earlier. That I love rock and roll, but I love,
I forgot to mention, like you mentioned, I think you mentioned yesterday, rap. I like Eminem, Little Kim. I love TLC. I left eye from TLC. R.I.P. She's my favorite female person ever in the history of music ever. I love her. I love the way everything about the way she put it down, the way she said it, the way she walked, the way she talked, the way she dressed. No award, no fucking anything there. If you ask me, I like real artists. I don't like what is put in the media. I like people who do what they want to do, regardless of what anybody says. That's probably why the first person I said that I liked was Madonna, because that's the equivalent of that, isn't it?
yeah,
He didn't give a shit what
yes,
anybody said. Same
yeah.
thing I do. I do whatever the heck I want. Get ready.
I think we're lovers rather than haters, because I know all these people you've mentioned, I love them too. And it's better to talk about the music that we love than to, put anybody down or say anything negative. And that's why I
Correct.
love to write and broadcast. I'd be into doing PR. I'd be like a publicist because I'm really into positive. Let's talk about the stuff that we enjoy. And if we're not talking about something, that's okay.
Right.
it's better than ragging on somebody, or people
Yeah.
ask me all the time, what's the best concert I've ever gone to? What concert did I like the most? And I just really can't, because there's just so many of them. If you want to ask me what concert that I didn't enjoy, that was Van Halen with David Lee Roth, because he was so drunk he couldn't perform.
Oh, oh,
He was
yeah,
forgetting all the
that'll
lyrics.
ruin it.
Yeah, but you know what? I forgive him, because I know that when he's on his good days, then he's going to be good. But I think everybody does have a bad day. So if you go to a concert and that person, maybe they had a bad day, but let's give everybody a chance.
Yes, agree. Agree. Phew, I can sit back.
Yeah.
Sit back and relax.
Well, we do have some people that are dropped into our audience here. I don't know. Um,
Hi, people.
I don't know if
Hi,
anybody
guys.
has any questions, but let's see. Dance is something that's pretty cool too, and
Yes.
you must have been very young when you started dancing.
Um, three.
Oh,
Taking
three.
lessons. Yeah, taking
Oh my
lessons.
gosh.
Hmm.
Uh,
Cheerleading. I was. That's the cheerleading about that same time, and I was a master. I wanted to cheer so bad. Like the year, like I was like 2 years old, and my mom was like, "You cannot. We can't. You can't." It was like she's too young, but then they said well, she can be. And I was like, "Yay!" And they threw me out there in the little suit, the little some little suit, and I was out there going, "Everybody to the left, everybody to the right." Anything I could do to be in front of people, man. I just like to be in front of people and see what I
yeah.
can do. I feel like being in front of people and seeing how you do and like gaining experience that way so I can test myself. Even at that age, I was like, okay, I'm going to go out there. I got the guts to get in front of them. And if I screw up, it's my fault. But I will learn from my mistakes better next time. That's always been my mantra.
Hmm.
There you go.
Uh, so,
Told you I'm
did you go to a public school or a private school
what? High school or what?
when you were growing up, as a like in your teens and stuff? Were you going to a high school, like I don't know, was it a public school,
No, I
like
went to
where?
private school. Religious private school. Good gracious. That's a
Ah,
whole nother issue
you,
that we
that's
can
what
talk
I wanted
about.
to ask. That's why I wondered if you went to a private school, a religious school. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
did. I did.
uh, was it
I mean,
like
I have nothing against any of it. I mean, that's what, if there's certain people that want to. I mean, but the only thing I can say about that I didn't like is that they forced us to believe into certain things, and we weren't allowed to make our own decisions. I mean, granted, now I'm saying that's how we had to act at school. I'm not saying I believed it when I walked out of the school building. I'm just telling you that was the face you had to put on in order to not go to detention.
uh
That's what I'm saying. But
yeah.
I mean, I don't disrespect religion at all. I feel like if you want to believe what you want to believe, go ahead, do what you want to do. But the one thing I can say is, I don't like anybody to push anybody's belief on anybody. You are your own person. You have your own brain in your head. You come up with what you're gonna believe. Period.
I
That's what
agree.
I say.
Yeah, I was raised Catholic, but I don't believe that there's only one religion and that's it. There's a lot of religions, lots of beliefs.
Right. I feel like
I like
everybody
that.
should be
I
allowed
like
to.
that.
Everybody should be allowed to believe what you. I mean, as long as you're not putting any life in danger, I don't see no problem with it. Do what you want to do. Stay out of everybody else's hair and worry about yours.
Yeah, we're continuing to evolve. It means that our faith is not stagnant. Our faith is not just this is it. This is how I'm going to be all my life, because we have to be open-minded to learning. It's just like
Right.
talking about music, because music and photography and all the things we're creating, it changes constantly. Um,
Yes.
so I've
Cannot be
been,
afraid of
oh, yeah. Um, no, I've been exposed to a lot of different religions. I was a wedding photographer, so obviously I'm going to meet a lot of different people, and it's really interesting to me.
right.
I love Hindu food. I like Indian food,
Nice.
and
I think Indian
mhm.
food is spicy,
What's that?
right? Indian food is spicy.
Yeah, yeah, it's
I
spicy.
don't. I can't do spicy stuff. Oh my gosh, I cannot do spicy. My mouth. Phew.
Oh, and you're a Southern gal. What's happening?
Yeah, I know. I cannot do spicy food, man. Maybe a smidge, a small smidge, maybe, but any more than a small smidge, and I'm my mouth. You won't talk about me getting loud. I'll be like, give me some water now, now.
uh, well, just like technology is constantly changing too, because when I got into photography, I got into it before the digital revolution, so I learned how to do film. I shot film and processed film, and there's similarities, but there's a lot of differences too. And then I had to pick up and learn digital quickly because that was a big change, and it's changed everything from like also the music industry, because I remember going into recording studios. I remember the smells of recording studios, the smell of a photo lab, and the atmosphere is just like, I don't know, a recording studio with the old tape machines and stuff. It felt
Yeah,
really warm. And
yeah.
vinyl, vinyl, I miss
I
that. But
love.
hey,
When I was little, I used to listen to my mom and dad's vinyl. Oh my gosh, yes.
yeah,
I wish it was still like that. No doubt. Music was so much more. It had so much more heart to it, and you could just feel it. It's almost like you could feel the heart they put into it just coming off of the recorder. Now I'm like,
yeah.
never mind the commentary. I don't. You don't want me to start on that commentary, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Well, I like digital because of the instant. I got to use the word gratification. The gratification of being able
And
to see
there's
what.
nothing wrong with stuff. I'm just. I guess I was talking like of the music itself. I mean, not necessarily the digital, because of course my stuff is. I mean, I can't sit here and talk about my stuff too. I mean, I'm not silly like that, but I'm. But yeah, I just feel like there's something about the way they recorded music back in the day that was
Yeah,
had more heartfelt and more. It's not just pushing buttons, you know.
yeah.
That was before my time, so I'm just talking about stuff I've studied. I wasn't really there, so I guess I really can't be the one to say anything. So let me be quiet. Patrick did the talking.
So are you signed? You can mention, talk about who you're working with right now. Well, what are you signed to the record company? That kind of thing.
Independent. Independent. A lot of people come to me, just like when I was younger, I had a prospect to be assigned to a Christian label, and at that age, I even at that age, like 11, I just knew I did not want to be one dimensional. I wanted to be able to be who I am, not who they tell me to be. So I've turned down a lot of things simply because when you look at contracts, and my lawyer looked at the contract, they're like, if you sign this, you are in too deep problems. So I mean, I don't know. From everything I've gotten, no, I've done too well on my own. I've been doing it so long. I know how to make contacts. I know how to talk to people. I I mean, you know, I'm not
Oh,
perfect. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I know how to be. I don't need somebody in my hand. I don't need a manager to say, okay, Sydney, let's do this and that. Like, I go out there and do it myself. Somebody to tell me to go find a gig, I'll go find it myself. I'm not interested in paying other people. Why pay somebody
yeah.
else to do what I can already do for myself? I guess my mom taught me to be very independent. I remember her telling me back in the day, if you want to do this thing, we will go over there and we'll do it. But as far as once you get older, you're going to have to go on. And that's what I did, man. I got up and I got off my ass and I did what I wanted to do. Period.
That's cool. That's really cool. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, that's one thing about the digital age too. It gives you the opportunity to do everything yourself. If you want to produce your own record, if you want to, there are models that photograph themselves. Okay, and there's a lot of quote
That
unquote
I haven't
model.
heard yet. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, and I'm finding that the standards have changed as far as the modeling industry because when I first started out, they talk about agency standard and blah blah blah. You got to be
Hmm.
5'9" and all that stuff, and
Hmm.
um, I threw that out the window.
Yeah, I
And
was about to say, I think the standard, as far as that stuff goes, to me, mm, I you shouldn't let your success be limited by somebody else's standard. I don't think just because women are one size they look better than I mean, that's me. I mean, granted, whatever they want to say, but yeah, I've heard too many girls say, "Oh, I can't do it because of this and that," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't even have words for you. Just do what you want to do. Period. If you've
yeah,
got, I mean, and here's the thing, modeling. A lot of girls don't realize modeling is about not taking pictures. I mean, modeling's about being a role model. Modeling's about the way you carry yourself. Hello. You can be as pretty as you want, but you act like, oh, I don't care anymore. That's me. Maybe I'm from the South, but I want to see who you are, man. Granted, if you've got this, a nice butt and all that, fine. But is that gonna last? Is that gonna be your legacy, man?
yeah,
I hope not. That's me. That's how I think. Now I'm not. I don't know. Like I told you, I have no filter. That's how I think. I feel like if you're gonna call yourself that, you need to be doing something that gives you a place to let lay your foot and say, "This is who I am." Not just this is how I look, but this is who I am, and let me show you how how I carry myself can inspire other people to carry themselves, so we can all move forward. That's
yeah.
what I think.
Amen.
Don't
I've,
get me
I've
started. Don't get me started.
I've never ever hired a model through an agency. There were just no agencies that were legit near me, and I
That's
went to
another thing. That's another thing girls need to know. Half of the agencies that come to you, 90% of them are not even real. Look up. Okay.
oh, they're trying to make money. The big ones were like the ones that were like Barbizon and
Right.
Robert Powers. They were
Right.
basically, yeah, they take anybody and they take your money.
Correct. A lot of
And
them are like that. Yeah. And then you
college,
and then in the end of it, the model doesn't even end up getting that much work. And I'm like, well, dang, you could have done that by yourself. You could have not gotten any work by yourself.
any photographer that's starting out and looking for models, go to college campuses. That's where I got into a fashion
Yeah.
club. I photographed fashion shows for a designer that was local, and it was
Yeah.
a
That's
blast.
a good idea.
And I learned how to do casting. I took theater arts too. You're going the right route. If you go into school, if you can get into a junior college or something like that, or even if you're just looking for somebody to work with, they have music departments and things like that too.
Yeah.
Colleges are underrated as far as places to go. Um, that's the other thing I got to ask you though. How are you doing as far as your school? Are you continuing school? Are you going to go for a degree?
Uh, I am school. I have 2 degrees. I have bachelor's fashion merchandise because I also do fashion. Like I like to style people and
Ah,
do personal style. And then I have a marketing degree because I work as a brand ambassador for lots of different companies. So I
I
do
thought so. I thought so.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where.
But
Okay.
I also am considering like I mean I want to have my own like fashion business. So I'm thinking maybe taking a class of like business, getting like some more like a business course. I'm thinking of doing something like that. So maybe I can day open my shop. So that's something I have not said before.
Yeah. So when I talk about going to a fashion club, I'm right up your alley. You know all about that.
Yeah, I love. As you can tell, I love to dress. Like, there's never too many accessories. Like, I can just do too much. Why do you think I like Prince and Madonna and all those other that we mentioned? I like all the people that are like weird. If you're weird, I'm probably gonna be like, wow, that's really anybody who's got some guts behind like that shit. I like somebody who's gonna tell me something I haven't already known before.
Uh,
So I like to be weird. Hi.
so you do your own marketing too.
Yes. I'm now with some of my music stuff coming up. I'm gonna be working with a marketing firm, Starlight PR in LA. Where you're from, I think. But I haven't started that yet. But that's the next thing. And then with the Fleet DJs, they help market your stuff. I work with Fleet DJs. They help market your stuff. But I think, to be honest with you, I think the best way to market stuff, in my opinion, is like we said, going out and performing your stuff. Like, why make everybody else do it for you when you can go out there, you can get in front of people yourself, nobody can say anything about it. That, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, no fucking false stories. But how can it be false? You're standing in front of somebody telling them exactly what you're doing. You see what I'm saying?
Uh,
Why let other people make up stories about it when you can just be right there in front of them and there it is? What else can you say? I, I say that's your best. To me, maybe because with my mom, okay, go here, go there. We went to the fashion shows, we went to the auditions. I mean, I grew up being very how it goes. You gotta have the gut in front of people. So that's probably why I say that, because I just knew that
yeah.
getting in front of people and being able to convey your point in front of people is how you're going to get them to notice you and to really see what that you can say you do.
Yeah. No, you're doing your own thing, and sometimes people that um, see others like being successful and stuff, they try to pull them down. And I'm about ready to talk about bullying. I know that you've done some work towards anti-bullying, trying to help people understand that, you know, that's just not the way to go. Um,
Definitely.
and I noticed, the more successful somebody gets, we were talking about somebody as big as Madonna or Christina Aguilera, or
Love,
I don't know, even
love.
Blake Shelton. Even Blake Shelton probably has haters. That's going to happen.
Oh, you
What we
so
can't.
hate. I don't know about Blake Shelton, but then again, I don't hate on him. But I just don't like his style of music. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I think he's a real nice guy, but I
Yeah,
know there's
that's
somebody that's
real nice
jealous.
guy to me, but I'm not
What,
nuts about
what
his
he did to
voice.
Miranda,
Right. I liked him, McGraw. I loved him. Oh my God, I love old
uh,
country. Don't get me started on this show. I love old country. All right, let me not get sidetracked. Go ahead.
yeah. So, oh, one moment. She's in there. Okay.
Uh
Um, so yeah, how do you? I mean, there's got to be times when you've got to build yourself up because you might have a rough day. Things don't. Your car got towed, whatever. How do you bring yourself up? How do you hype yourself up to be, you know, feeling better again?
oh, I think sometimes I just sit and I think and I say, because like I said, all younger, and I've always been so passionate about this. I think to myself and I go, how are you going to let anybody else or anything else possibly even come in your way? Like, are you kidding me? What kind of, you're not a coward. I'll talk to myself in the mirror
Yeah,
like, you are you. Just do what you do. I just look at myself and be like, okay, don't go there unless because you're gonna kick yourself later for being upset now because you could be out doing something to make yourself successful. But here you are whimpering about it now, and you're gonna kick you later. So I talk to myself, man. I get in the mirror and I just let myself have it. Sometimes be like, you're not a dummy, this, that, and the third, whatever.
Yeah.
And I get over it. And then my mom, sometimes I mean, my mom has passed away, but I can feel her hand on my shoulder, and she like, okay, you're all right, calm yourself down. Just
Yeah.
go, go and do the dang thing, and stop making me look bad. That's what she'll say. So I mean, I try to keep myself centered, and I try to keep my spirit thinking about her and why I really do this, which is not for any type of glory or any type of fame or anything. I do this because it's in my heart, and I feel like what I was called here to do, not just to be idolized, but to help, to literally look at other people in the eye and help them. That's what I like. I like for people, because I get messages all the time with people coming to me saying, your post inspired me, or I like your song because you're talking about things that nobody else talked about on my radio. I mean, on my web series, the stuff that me and my friend Kelly talk about. Like, because I just say what really comes to me, and because I want to be honest with people. That's really what I like, and I know that I am helping somebody else who's going through something I went through, or um, what I went through can help somebody else. The songs I write. That's why I don't write them about, sunshine and lollipops. I write them about real things, because my life has not been easy. I
Mm.
told you, I've been in the entertainment business for a long time, so there's a lot of trials and tribulations that go with that. So I write what is real to me, in hopes that it will help somebody else. That really is the key of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it isn't easy. And
Especially as a child too, to have to deal with the reject. I mean, I remember so many times,
mm,
God, like so upset because they would be like, "Oh, we really like her, but she's just a tad too short, or she's just her eyes are just a tad too just stuff you can't control. I can't. I'm short. I can't have dark eyes. I mean, but that's just how they do it. And even at that age, I had to learn how to have a thick skin, and how to say, okay, well, I just go to the one where they say your eyes can be dark. You
yeah.
you try to look at it the other way instead of trying to get upset, because then you just end up falling into a hole to get out. I did that too, trust me, until
Yeah.
I learned how to be strong. See, that's the
Three
thing
words.
about me. I just every time I fell down, I just got back up, and that's really a lot about my song, my latest single, the one that's out right now,
Oh.
Against Me. That's what it's really about. It's like there's been so many people that have been against me,
Ah, yes,
um,
that song
but
against me. Yeah.
I yeah, but I didn't really let it get to me. Like, the lyrics. It all started simple. It was all in my mental, in my brain. I knew where I was going, that I would make my moment, because it was tunnel vision, because it was destiny and my mission. I knew I was different. I didn't care. That's all me. That's like what I'm telling you right now. That's the lyrics. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I just, like, really write from my diary.
You never give up.
No, I never give up, no matter what or said or this or that. I don't have it in me to give up. I don't
Yeah.
know how, and I'm never going to learn how.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people that have been successful fell and they got back up and they just
Correct.
didn't give up. And that's one of my friends that I'm more than an acquaintance with her because I know some of the people she's worked with. She's worked with photographers I know, and she just won the MTV's competition. I think it started out in Real World, and then they're like the
Oh my gosh, real world. That's going back now.
yeah, she was in that, but the more recent Real World, and they put the champs and the competitors against each
Oh, they
other.
have a new one. See, I don't even watch. Here y'all go. I don't even watch TV, guys.
I know MTV. The only reason I watched it is because of Ashley, and Ashley won over $100,000 last night.
Nice.
I'm like, whoa. And what she went through, she had to do physical stuff, mental stuff, and like her emotions. She was like drama queen sometimes, freaking out, eating bugs, things like that.
Don't
And
get me wrong. I
the
do
things they
that
made you
stuff too, and
do. They tried to break
It's like,
you, and she survived it. She's a country gal too, from West Virginia. So there's
well,
something about
congratulations, Ashley. Good
yes.
for you.
She's on my
This is another key point. We should support other people who are doing well. If you ask me, too
yeah.
many people complain about negative stuff going on in the world, and I'm saying, you know what? It's negative because you make it negative. Why don't you just acknowledge other people doing good things, and then maybe good things will happen to you? Hello, wake up.
Yeah, you just never give up. That's the whole thing. Because I mean, how can you win if you were to give up? You might have just been a meter or two short. You might have been just a couple
Correct.
feet from the finish line, and you blew it because you gave up. You don't
Correct.
know until you get there. And
Exactly.
part of the ride, part of the fun is working towards getting there because it's when we think about it, it's those little things like I was talking about the smells in a recording studio. Isn't that weird? I mean, I can think of little things that build up to the big things.
Yes. Mhm.
That one picture that we might have been taking out of 100 pictures, we might have taken 100 pictures and maybe that's not very good. That wasn't very good. Let's keep working towards it. Okay, we got the perfect pose out of 100 out of one. You know.
Yes. Trust me, like I told you on this Puerto Rico trip, I just went on. Oh my God, I was like, "Wake up, Sydney, man!" I fell off. I got back on, but for a minute there, I was like, "Oh crap, I forgot to practice my poses." Because I've been so busy with music, I forgot. You know me, I'm trying to do. You know how? Well, you see by now, I like to do so many things at once that I forget to calm down. I forget to sit down and relax. So I did all right. I did good. I practice more and then I get better. Just like I said, I never can. If I'm against myself, I still won't give up on myself.
How do you how do you like working with photographers? Do you have any kind of like I notice we've got Lexi is here, Guy is here. Um, I'm
Hmm.
kind of curious about how you work with photographers and what do you think of there's different styles. We all work a little differently from each other, and I'm just kind of curious as to how many photographers I know you work with one a lot, and you really like him.
Which
But let's
one?
talk about the style. Um, I'd have to go back and look on your website, but you take pictures with him sometimes too, and you goof off a lot with him. There's a lot of sense of humor, a lot of goofing off and having fun.
I'm good at that. I don't know who. The one just shot with Brian Doty in Puerto Rico. He works with RHK, Celebrity magazine, and Honey Dolls. He but that's recent. And I think I've shot with Brian in the past, but as far as who I've shot with mainly in the before Puerto Rico, Jim Clark Stevenson is a fantastic photographer.
Uh,
I mean, fantastic. He's based here in Raleigh, and he is just he. I love him because he's so versatile. Like one minute we can do my headshot tracking, and the next minute we can be doing like that look that I have for my new cover with the jeans and the top. It looks like an old 90s look. Like he goes from one to the next to the next to the next. I mean, it keeps me on because I'm always thinking, oh my God, we can do this, we can do that. I like that in somebody. I like somebody who's got as much energy as me. I don't want a photographer who's like, all right, let's do the same thing we did last week again and again and again and again. Because I'm gonna be like, forget it. I'm not learning anything. I'm done. That's me. You're not challenging me as a model, then I don't want to oh, excuse me, work with you. Huh, language. Yeah, I like somebody who shows me different things and keeps me aware of things that I may not see. Like sometimes in the picture, you hold your hands funny. Like don't put your hands like this. Put your hands like to me those small things because in the end I end up beating myself. Why didn't you tell me I had a hair bow on my wrist? Why didn't you tell me my fingers were wrong? I like someone who's looks at the small details, because later on the small details may mess up the whole entire photo in the end. So I like to be a little bit of a perfectionist, to be honest with you. Like if my hair is not right, I mean, the whole thing. Because obviously, if you don't, then like I said, you're gonna notice it later on, and then you're gonna be like, oh shoot, you know, that's me. I mean, so you asked what kind of things I like with a photographer. So I guess the answer is somebody who's versatile, somebody who keeps me on my toes, somebody who's not afraid to tell me when I need to suck in my stomach, somebody who's
Yeah.
not afraid to tell me how it is. If it don't look good, tell me. If I think it looks good,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say, well, we're gonna do it anyway. We might argue, but we'll get a good result. You know, I like somebody who's creative. Somebody that I want to work with coming up soon is Brian Latimer. He's here in Raleigh. His photo, he travels all over the place, but his photos are so on point. It's not even funny. Like I
Uh,
said, 1 minute they're in the garden, then they're in the pyramid, then they're in. I'm like, I'm done. I need you. I need you. You're so damn cool. I like people who are versatile.
yes. And communication. When you talk
That's
about them
one thing
telling you,
I
yeah,
don't have with communication.
yeah,
That's one thing I don't have a problem with. I can let you know how I feel in about 0.3 seconds.
yeah,
Just let me open my mouth and you'll know. You'll know.
yeah. Um, I enjoy teaching, so my thing is explaining stuff, and I get it from my dad. My dad was a teacher too. My dad's passed away, but I still learn from his lessons every day. I think of something new that I discover because he told me, don't ever close your mind to any learning at all. Read books. I love
Definitely.
reading books,
I
and
like.
yeah, so it's I can tell you about the three different methods that photographers use. Verbal communication is very critical to helping a model pose.
Yes.
Um, I like doing mirror imaging, which means that I'll show the pose to you like you're looking in a mirror. I'll say, "Do put your hand here," whatever, that kind of thing. Um, I also will go and do the pose. There's four things, then basically, I'll
Right.
even
And
do
that's
the
a
pose,
behind the
which is
scenes photo
funny.
right there. That's when you need the
Yeah,
behind the scenes. The photographer lays out on the floor or
exactly.
curls, however.
I don't look half as good as you, though. Okay, but I'll do it to show you what I'm looking for. And then sometimes photographers will step in and maybe they'll ask, can I, can I touch your hair? Can I adjust your hair? Can I adjust
Yes.
the strap? Whatever,
Which
that kind
was
of
a good
thing.
point. You bring up a point. They should always ask. I don't think
Oh
that it's
yeah,
very appropriate for them to just. I mean, yeah, no, that doesn't.
that's the last resort.
That's not well. I mean, now if it's a photographer shot with a lot of times and they're just gonna touch my hair, I'm not gonna. But I mean, if it's somebody I don't really know and then all of a sudden they just rush up to you and start touching you,
No,
mm, that's not gonna go over so well. Probably with me or anybody else. You know, I don't think any model would like touched out of the blue like that.
if there's details, like if it's a client and they're doing some kind of clothing or something like that, or even like if it's some kind of well, gosh, with bikinis, you definitely want to have an assistant. I think if you're going to have somebody, I don't mind having people come to the photo shoots. Like what they call them, escorts, but I don't
Yes,
use that word. I use the word guests, and
yes,
I encourage models to introduce me to people that they like working with, because I've even had a photographer come and assist me. I've assisted other photographers. Um, but then there's makeup artists that you might want to have. You might want to have the clothes designer, a stylist.
yes.
Is quite often I don't mind an audience. I'm a ham. I could like charge money for people to. Okay, here's a chair. You can watch us, but you're gonna have to pay. Because I put on a show.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I won't work with a model one on one. And if I do work with you one on one, obviously I'm going to tell you something before I do it. I don't
Here's
want
that
to
interesting. You said
surprise you.
you like escort or guests. I have not heard that. A lot of photographers say, please don't bring somebody else with you. Like, like if it's another
Uh,
model, that's one thing, but like they don't like boyfriends or husbands or so you're the first photographer that I've heard say that you like them to bring, like when it comes to like a
well,
boyfriend or a husband, not a different person, not like just
I don't
another
want
person,
them
but
to be a
somebody that you feel might
stranger.
be a conflict. I mean,
I want to know the person that you're bringing is there to help you and help me to be participating because I'll put people to work if they're there.
right,
If you bring somebody, bring me somebody that is very supportive of you, somebody that's not going to interfere, but in fact might want to jump in and if I give them, well, we're directing the shoot. Basically, you and I are in charge of the shoot, and we can
right,
tell that person what to do.
right.
I've had moms carry around stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
and,
I mean, again,
and
I feel like if it's somebody who's going to contribute to what you're doing, that's fine. But I've heard too many photographers say, don't bring those kind of people because they end up messing up. But
don't bring
then again, I feel
jealous.
like you can't
Don't
sit there and get too carried away with saying, well, you can't. I mean, because not everybody's boyfriend or husband is going to do that. So I don't know.
no,
That's kind of one of those things where you're going to have to take a risk. Now, if it's some girl that you've already shot and you already know the situation, then you already know to tell the person, please don't bring X, Y, Z person you brought the last time, call thing to go to heck. But I don't know, and I guess you can't really say that because you don't know.
no. I
But
think that young models that are just starting out, young girls in particular, that bring their boyfriends or they're they're making a mistake because that can that can put a lot of pressure on them if they've got some guy that they like and he's there and what if he doesn't like what he sees going on and he you
correct.
know
Yeah, I agree. I would say to the younger girls, I would say, yeah, you've got to do this for you. This is what when it comes to having a career in the entertainment business, you got to invest in yourself. It's not about boyfriend. It's not about husband. Honestly, because if you don't like what you're doing and you can't be comfortable, God Almighty, you won't. There's no way. You can't get anywhere. There's always gonna be something stopping you. You're never gonna get. So I definitely agree. You, as a young person, as long as you're over the age of 18, let's clarify that. As long as
right
you're over the age of 18, you need to step up on your own, and you got to decide you want to do this, and you got to really put the pedal to the metal. That's honestly the best way. Now, I'm not saying go to a shoot with a photographer you don't know by yourself, looking like a doe-eyed Bambi. No, don't do that. But don't bring somebody that's going to cause a controversy at the same point. Bring, like, for instance, when my friend Blair, that she and I went to Puerto Rico together, when she did her first photo shoot not a while ago, probably so months ago, she called me. We met on doing a short film together, and
ah,
we didn't know each other that well, but she knew I was a model. So when she went to do her thing, she called me and she was like, "Look, I'm going to meet this photographer. I'm not sure. Blah 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 blah. Here's the phone number. Blah 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 blah." So you see what I'm saying? I was on it. I knew because that's what you do. That's something you should do. Always have a person as a resource that you can trust that's not going to cause an issue. That's a good idea for any model, male or female. Say that to everybody around.
it's building a
Never,
community. That's a
never go
community type of
alone.
thing,
If you don't know what you're getting into, don't go alone.
right?
You always
um
do your research. Always do your research. This thing with the internet these days, people like to say, "Oh, I'm so and so from this so and so and this." Oh yeah, and then you look it up, and it's Tinkerbell and Barney. You got to do your research.
you
Otherwise,
said a lot right there. You said a lot right there.
I'm just
Research.
being funny. I'm just being funny. Tinkerbell and Barney, whatever. The point is, what's not what really they do. Is what I'm saying. And if you don't do the research before, you're going to get there and you're going to figure that out when you get there. And they might hog tie you and tie you from the roof at that point. So why not figure it out before you get there and cause yourself to get into a mess you get out of?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have to think.
That was the other thing I've heard a lot of photographers complain about are models flaking, and I don't have that problem. Because I come from a family of teachers, I learned how to do a lot of the casting of plays and putting together bands, stuff like that. I wanted to be the superstar. I wanted to be the rock star, but instead I ended up photographing them. And as a kid, I kind of grew up through that. It's like I'm always in the choir, but not the lead. And that was okay because I learned a lot about background stuff. So models don't flake on me. They really don't. I mean, I can tell you, like, oh, I had a model that did a cold flake, didn't call, didn't show back on March 23rd of 2007. So every 10 years, I might have
Wait,
somebody that
March
told me, I,
23rd, 2007 is the last time. Well, dang, Patrick, you're doing pretty well because a
uh,
lot of photographers complain about that stuff a lot.
but I do check out people. I do the research, like you say, and and I think that's important to, is also community because we build a community of those people that we work with. It's a social network. You get to
And
know other photographers and
you
models,
hit a
and
you hit a good point there too. Photographers should, because I feel it's the same. Like, okay, don't complain as the model that you shoot, be all upset about this photographer. If you would have done the research ahead of time, you would have known he was whatever blank. Same thing with
yeah,
the photographer. I complain that the model did X, Y, Z, had to just looked ahead of a time, perhaps. Like I said, community, talk to another photographer. You may have figured it out ahead of a time. You would have got yourself out of that problem. So you hit it right on the head. The key is ahead. That's the key.
yeah.
Hold my hands.
And
What am I
I,
gonna do next
you,
time I
you're
hit?
the type of person I just know. Because I was thinking about something else too. Sometimes models go and work with a photographer, and that photographer says something inappropriate that they don't like. It might be something creepy. It might be
Here
the
you
photographer doesn't even realize what they're saying. They might be like
here you go.
brain dead or something. But you would tell that person immediately. Don't wait until later and say, "Gosh, no, I should have gone there" or whatever. You give immediate feedback. That's what you
Yeah,
do. I know you do that.
yeah, me. I'm like, listen, if I was with a photographer that I didn't know and they said something off, like really like degrade, I mean, something not that I can find humor in. If they touch me wrong or said, oh, I would be out. I've done it before. I've literally, I remember being like
Yeah.
16 when I was doing my first glamour shots, like trying to dress it up a bit, trying to, look a little bit more sophisticated. And the photographer did something funny, and my mom was around the corner. As soon as my mom heard that, when she turned around the corner, we grabbed all of my stuff and walked out with you. Bye. I've done that before. I'm not about to let
Yeah.
you leverage to mess with me. If you look foolish, I'm getting out of you.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I mean, because like I said, you have to protect yourself. If somebody looks like they're doing something foolish, don't stand there and wait for them to set the bomb off. You need to go ahead and go,
Yeah.
right? Doesn't that make sense?
That makes a lot of
Later,
sense.
later. Oh, so and so did this and that. Well, yeah, because you let
Yeah.
them do it. See, I told you my mouth is like for anything. But see, but honestly, this mouth being the way it is, it keeps me from getting into these, like what you're, all these, because people know, okay, do not play with Sydney. Good day. People don't play with me because I put it out there that I know how to hold my own ground. People know that I know how to hold my own ground. My
Oh
personality
yeah.
is I know how to hold my own ground. I'm not a naive person. Now, I might have been back in the day when I was small and I was starting out, but after all the stuff I've seen, it takes a lot to make me flinch anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I sense
and
that of you, for sure. I can tell.
it's not too much to get me going. I mean, but yeah, I mean that comes from years of experience and learning to, you know, stand
Yeah.
up on my own 2 feet. For somebody new, you have to do that same thing. You just have to have that confidence in yourself. It's something that nobody can teach you. Like you mentioned, like classes and blah blah blah. I mean, classes and all that. That's good as far as honing your craft. But a lot of things that I think a lot of performers miss, just innate ability just to do what you do. Like no amount of class this that can tell you how to really be a performer. If you ask me, maybe somebody else thinks differently, but I can only speak for myself. Uh,
Yeah.
that's something you have to contrive of your own. You can. Now, granted, of course, nobody's saying you can't take acting classes to learn how to act better. You can't take, but of course not. Everybody can improve, but I'm talking about as far as just having the know-how to know the way you're going to put yourself out there as the artist. If you
Yeah.
ask me, the best person to answer that question is yourself, because you know what kind of thing you want to do. You have to do it. Now, that's
Yeah.
the difference between me speaking as an independent artist versus a person who has a agent or a manager. Then you get to the point of, well, then you have to kind of be guided by so and so. See, that's another thing with Sydney. I'm not good at that, being guided by so and so stuff. I like to make my own decision. That's probably another reason why I didn't sign those contracts, because I was like, oh, that means I have to listen to so and so tell me what to do. This is not gonna work out good. I'm gonna get fired the first day. Be like, oh my gosh, she's got an
I
attitude.
love that. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just, I don't know. I'm just being funky. I get
I
because
love what
I
you
guess
just said.
maybe to
That's
me,
great.
maybe I say maybe I'm like I think maybe I'm like this because my goal has never really been to be so. And I told you before, my goal is to take the experiences I've been through and what me in my life, or what has given me any type of any, whether it's good or bad, and try to help somebody else with it. That's what I have tried to do. Now, granted, yes, the whole thing, yay, models and pretty and this, yes. But if you ask me what's the core of the core is, so I keep myself centered with that. Man,
Yeah.
I've done a lot of talking. My throat is dry. Oh my God, you guys are not sick of me yet?
Well, Sydney, I call you the superwoman because you just do it all, and that's great. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I encourage everybody that's been through here to go ahead and fan you up and to check out your website. And
Happy, successful moment.
yeah,
Can I answer these questions that
I'm
are on
gonna.
right here?
Well, there's been a few people that have been on here, and we've been talking for about an hour. But I think we're going to have to wrap this one up, and we should do another one because I think once this goes out, that if we do this, like I don't know when we could do it again, but if you get on here and you broadcast, I'll see that you're on, and I can hop in and you can guess me, and we could talk.
Oh my God, so y'all just want me to talk even more? You know what kind of trouble you're getting into now? Oh dear God. I'd say get a safety belt and a harness and one of
Remember
those.
the Beach Boys? I said the Southern girls, they knock me out the way they talk down there.
Yeah, now a real hammer, and I really no, I'm just kidding. I won't.
So
I might.
let's
Just
just
kidding.
give us 10 more minutes, please. Okay, somebody, Guy is really enjoying this.
Oh yes,
Um,
okay, I know you. Hi,
I've,
guy.
I've got to actually step away for a moment. What you could do is go ahead and post in the comment section. Um, I did post your Facebook, your website. What else? Instagram. Post your Instagram and watch the comments. See if anybody is there wants to ask a question. But go ahead and start posting your links, and I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Now y'all got me, just me. This is interesting. Instagram. Did it work? Okay. So yes, and while I'm here, I'll say I appreciate everybody who's watched, and definitely stay tuned for more. Now that I've discovered you, now I can do more videos on here, like he mentioned, of just me. Maybe I could even maybe sing some of my music on here. I don't know. At this point, he's giving me all kinds of ideas, so I might do that. Talk about more stuff. I'm sure if my mouth just even go more off, I'm sure you would, right? Ha ha, JK, JK. Um, this is weird. I'm here. Oh God, I told y'all I'm a weirdo. So I'm posting in the comment section my website, my Facebook, my Instagram. Um,
You came in at the right time.
what's the other one? Twitter. I don't know any other networking sites that people get on. Uh, I don't know. Google maybe. I don't know.
I'm
They
back.
got so bored with me. They needed you to come back. They were like, "Oh God, here she goes again."
Well,
I posted
um,
my Instagram, Facebook, uh, Twitter, and website. Bingo. That's all I got.
I'm an eternal fan stuck on the realness. Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're real.
no doubt.
Yeah.
Only thing I southern about me is I don't like hot sauce. We already went over that. Okay. I'm pretty weird.
That's okay.
But
I
I mean I don't mean it in like a way like it's bad. Like I like I mean not to sound like call it like narcissistic, but I like who I am. To be honest, I like the fact that I didn't let anybody tell me what to do and change me and this and that. Because if I told you how many times I had producers say, "Well, we want you to be blonde so we can make you look years," and I was like, say what? Why? There's nothing wrong with it. So I mean, yeah, I like me. If I didn't like me, I would have already changed me by now. That sounds really weird. I'm not narcissistic, you guys, but I mean, I like my personality. I don't feel the need to feel like I need anybody else.
no,
I
that's
think
that's all you can be is you,
I think that's cool. Yeah.
and you were brought up right. I
Oh,
admire.
no doubt. Rest in peace to my mom. My mom
Yeah.
was a wonderful lady. Because I mean, honestly, all this entertainment stuff started with her. She's the one that started putting me in pageants. Like I won one of my first pageants when I was only like 2 months old.
Oh my
September, September, August, September. Well, September was a month old when I won America's Most
God.
Beautiful Lady. So she started me
If you
with
don't,
that, and then
if you
I
don't mind my
started
asking, how when did your mom pass away? How old
January
were you?
9.
Hmm?
I was 18.
Oh, you were 18. Yeah,
Jan- so yeah, so January. So it's been about what 9 years, something like that, since
yeah.
2009. But like I said, God
Uh,
bless her. She taught me so much about the business. She sacrificed so much for me so that I was able to go and learn and try. And no matter how many times I failed, she's another one that kept me with that. If you fail, get up again stuff. And she never let me feel defeated. I felt defeated, but I tell you, that woman put on a heck of a show to make me feel like I wasn't. I mean, it felt bad, but she certainly didn't let me feel it for too long. So
you're carrying on a legacy. You're carrying on what you learned in your heart, and your
exactly,
mom lived on. Your mom lives on through you, just like I feel about my dad. You
exactly.
know, I used to go fishing with him, and when I was a kid, I didn't like getting up so early in the morning. I'm really not a morning person.
Oh,
So, but I realize now looking back, I would do anything to have just one more day to go fishing with my dad,
definitely.
because he taught me so much patience. It takes a lot of patience sometimes.
It's tried really hard to teach me, but I still don't know that thing. I'm not as anything. When
Uh,
I want it now. No, no. Well, I guess it depends.
yeah.
But I'm typical. I'm
Uh,
just saying. Just see, we're trying to find out what are the things that are wrong with me. Okay, there's your number two. Two. I'm not patient. Oh, we're
uh,
gonna wrap this up, Patrick. And you get me. We better find a way to mute this, or we're gonna be here too much. Be here
oh,
for the next 3 hours. We'll do this again. Now that you've showed me this you thingy, I mean, this you now. I said you thingy. Now that you've shown me this, I'll have
okay.
to do this more often.
Your your side is kind of pixelating. What I see is like all these pixels. So I guess this might be a good time to say goodbye
Okay.
and until we meet again.
Yes, we'll meet again. And thank you to everybody who tuned in.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.